All right. If you are here watching this video, it's for one of two reasons. You either just booked a call to learn a little bit more about our coaching program, or you're considering booking a call to learn more about our coaching program. Either way, if you're here, thank you. And I'm going to use this time to try to explain as much as I can about how it works, what's expected of you, what you can expect of us. Because if you're like me, I've hired coaches in the past many times, both in my professional journey, my entrepreneurial journey, and any time before I've ever hired a coach. I've wanted to learn as much as I possibly could before I spoke with them. I wanted to know what their program looks like. I wanted to know how long it was. I wanted to know if how much I was actually going to speak with them, or was I going to be passed over to their team? And is it going to be one-on-one, or is it going to be in some sort of classroom group setting? What's the commitment level look like? I mean, any and everything that you're possibly thinking about, I've thought about too. And again, in this video, I'm going to try to answer as many questions as I have about the program that you are considering. So let's just jump right into it. I'm going to share my screen and we'll go into it. So in this program, or in this video rather, I'm going to teach you the simple 5-step evidence-based system that we use in our program to help our clients land 200K to 500K plus job offers, specifically in the tech industry. And for reference, we've been doing this now since 2016, and we've now helped a little over 800 professionals do exactly that, which is land 200K to 500K plus job offers in tech. And what we found is that what separates most people who do achieve these types of life-changing job offers from those who don't has nothing to do with them having the best networks, or them having gone to the best schools, or having X FANG on their resume. Now, those things certainly help, but they are not required. What separates them has everything to do with using the right systems versus looking for some sort of quick tips or quick tricks or hacks or whatever you want to call them. And the problem, in my opinion, with tips and tricks or hacks is that, first and foremost, they're really unpredictable. And if you Googled tips on how to write a better resume or tips on how to interview better, the information is scattered and it's all over the place. There's no shortage of information, but it's so all over the place that you don't understand the full picture behind what information you're getting. It's kind of like starting a puzzle without knowing what the full picture actually looks like. And so as a result of looking for tips and tricks, you have to rely on luck. And luck is the last thing you want to rely on when you are looking for a high level job offer, these 200K to 500K plus job offers, especially in a highly competitive market, meaning a market that has so many people who are gunning for the same roles as you. The last thing you want is tips and tricks. But instead, if you're using systems, then you can at least understand that these systems are in place for a reason. They are proven. They are predictable. The execution becomes so much easier once you know what the full picture is and how it works. So when you know what to do, why to do it, and then how to do it really well, you can actually achieve your results so much faster, and it actually becomes a lot easier to execute. And this is something that the top 1% to 5% of the professionals that you look up to, that you admire, that you're hoping to be like, it's something that they know. They're not the ones looking for tips and tricks. They're the ones looking for the actual system to put into place so that they can execute faster and ultimately just get the results they want with less frustration and more ease. And so that is what we're going to do. We're going to show you the 5-step system that we use for our clients. This is what you're going to learn in today's video. And you will realize once you understand it, it's extremely logical. And especially it's proven. We've been doing this now for 8 years and having helped hundreds of clients. And the more you learn it, the easier it actually gets over time. It's straightforward, and most importantly, it will stack the deck in your favor. You're going to learn how not only just to get a really good, high-paying job working for a company that you admire, doing work that you actually enjoy, but you're going to learn how to continue to keep doing that so that way your career progresses in a direction that you actually want, that aligns with your values and it aligns with your career aspirations. And on average, when you implement this system, from the first step that you take to the day you accept the offer that you want, it usually takes 78.6 days to get results like these. These are all very recent results from people just like you who went through our program. We had somebody who just got a VP of product role in the last 90 days for over $460,000. We had somebody who just got a total comp of $900,000 as a director of engineering. We had somebody who just got a 500K plus offer from two companies, Apple and Google. Recently, we had somebody also get a 750K offer using these same systems. And the list sort of goes on and on. We had somebody do this, and if you notice, this is a text message she sent us where she had a hiring manager who told her that there were over 8,000 applicants, and she was one of the final two who ended up getting the offer for this role. We've had people tell us that they were so grateful for having been part of this program and how it's changed not only their life, but their career for the better. Again, just a few more examples of what you can expect to get when you implement this system. We had another person who got a role right from Apple for over 300K or 400K, close to 500K if you count all this. My math is so bad. And just a few more here. We had somebody else recently she got a job offer that increased her salary by $100,000. She was a project manager. And then countless others who we've been able to have the privilege of working with since 2016. Some people have gotten all the way up to seven figures, and countless others who've gotten that 200K to 500K plus offer. And I want to stress something here. It's not just about the money in our program. It's about what that money allows you to do. It allows you to show up as your best self. It impacts every aspect of your life. This is why I never subscribe to, oh, it's just a job. Well, it's not just a job, because what you do every day for 8 hours a day, sometimes more, impacts your mental health. It impacts how you can show up for those who depend on you emotionally or financially. It impacts where you can live. It impacts things down all the way to like what you can eat, how much you can save for rainy days, how much you can invest. Can you buy a home that you want? Can you take your kids or your loved ones or yourself on a vacation that you've always thought about? Can you show up in a way that's positive and supportful for, again, your loved ones, your partner? And most importantly, as we talked about before, it impacts how fast or how slow your career will grow. When you get an offer that allows you to work on something that you enjoy, it allows you to play to your strengths in an environment that supports your values, working for people and leaders that encourage you, that support you, and allow you to keep growing, your career naturally grows as a byproduct of that. So all of these offers, while I'm showing you the numerical value of it, behind the scenes, it's impacting all of this for them, and it can impact all of this for you. And again, if you don't know me, if you're completely new to me, this is the first time you're ever seeing my face, my name is Gaurav Villani. I'm the founder of CareerSprout. This is my business partner, my partner in crime. You may have seen us on our LinkedIn lives where we're giving advice, answering questions, telling a lot of knock-knock jokes. This is Katie McIntyre. We both run CareerSprout together along with our team behind the scenes. And again, as I mentioned, since 2016, we've now helped over 800 clients land offers like the ones you just saw. And so in this video, what we're covering is three things. Number one, what is the system that we use to help our clients, the one that we will use if we end up working together? How do we actually help them implement it? And then what are your options going forward? So let's get into it. And just so you know, our program, I don't want to be naive enough to think that it can help everyone. We specifically focus on tech, and we work only with principal level. So these are your highest form of individual contributors, all the way to C-suite clients. And these are the only areas that we help. So people who are in product, project management, program management, strategy and operations, data analytics, engineering. So think like head of engineering, CTOs, et cetera, operations, and then also consultants who work for the Accentures of the world, management consultants, the people who work at Bain, McKinsey, Deloitte, who want to leave consulting and break into industry. So the systems that I show you today have helped people like this. So if this is you, then you're in the right spot. So let's quickly start. I'm going to spend 1 minute by talking to you about how most people approach the job search and why it leads to ineffective results. And then we'll go from that into the system that we will be using instead. Now think about, and maybe this is you, but think about how most people, either, again, you or someone that you know, how do they start their search? It typically happens from some place of reaction, and it's usually a negative reaction. They get laid off, or they've felt undervalued for years. They've been passed up for multiple promotions. They're in a toxic culture, toxic environment, toxic boss, whatever it might be. So the first thing they want to do is get as far away from that negative situation as they can. And it's usually, again, if it's from a place of reaction, the first thing they do is they're going to slap together a resume, put everything they talked about on that resume, no thought or little thought into what they actually want next, because they're trying so hard just to get away from that negative situation. And so what they do once their resume is done, and not usually done effectively, is they will apply to as many jobs as they can. Some of these jobs don't even serve them. It's not even jobs they want. And they start applying and applying, spending countless hours doing this. And then usually what happens next is their inbox gets flooded with automated rejection emails. The thank you, but no thank you, or thank you, we'll keep it on file, whatever. I know you've seen these. I've seen these myself, and our clients have seen them too. And then as a result of that, more fear kicks in, more hopelessness kicks in. It all gets amplified. And so they'll keep applying. And then at some point, because of the law of averages, they will land an interview, but they'll usually bomb that interview. And they don't bomb it because they're dumb or unqualified. They bomb it just because they're unprepared and they're rusty. They haven't interviewed for a while. So then they go right back to what they know, which is applying to more and more jobs. And again, they'll land another interview and they'll usually bomb that one too, just again from being rusty. And now the more interviews they continue to bomb, the more fear kicks in. And at some point, what they do, and this is the last thing I would hope you do, is they begin applying to jobs that are a level or two below their most recent one, because they think that if they do that, then it'll be easier to find a job. And they think that all the other options have been utilized. And so they finally keep getting, they start applying to those lower level jobs. They'll get the interview and they'll finally get one. But now what they did is they just landed a job that they didn't even want to begin with. And as a result of that, they will set themselves back for years to come. And now they're starting a new job at a new company, resentful, usually at themselves. And the more this happens, the less they keep trying to build their career because they just think it's out of reach. So if this looks familiar to you, I want you to know it doesn't have to be this way. This is, and if you've done this before, don't knock yourself for it. It's kind of the only way most people have been taught. So now I'm going to walk you through the system that will simplify everything, help you get a 200K to 500K plus job offer, working for a company that you actually admire, doing what you actually enjoy while getting paid your worth. And the first thing that we're going to do, or the first thing I think you should know, is that starting your job search, you never want to begin that with your resume. And I just walked you through that, right? Because if you just start from putting together a resume and you list everything you've ever done, think about that logically. If you take together a resume and you put everything you've ever done, then logically, how can you ever attract anything more than what you've ever had? So starting your job search never begins with starting with your resume. It begins with identifying where you want to take your career over the course of the next 3 to 5 years, maybe slightly longer, and then reverse engineering the best possible path to get there. If you've seen any of my workshops before, I use the analogy of the M&M store. If all you did was, if you're trying to leave a negative situation, whether you've been laid off or you're trying to leave a toxic situation, or you're trying to just find something, and you just start with your resume without ever taking into consideration where you want to go, why you want to go there, what's actually good for you, what's actually not good for you. It's the same as just getting in your car and driving to New York versus getting to your car and driving to the M&M store specifically, right? It's all about having a destination that aligns with you, your values, your career aspirations, and knowing what is best for you in this season of life. So step one is identifying your career nirvana, identifying your M&M store. What's best for you today based on where you want to be over the course of the next 3 to 5 years. And how we do that is something called the career audit, which Katie and I have talked about relentlessly. It is the most important part of your job search process, something you want to do before you ever put together a resume, before you ever start networking, before you ever start practicing interviews. It's getting clear on where you want to go, why you want to go there, and how you're going to get there. It's actually very similar to doing an appraisal on your home. Think about it like this. Let's assume 10 years ago, you bought a home for $500,000. And today you decided, I want to sell that home. Well, what I'm 99.999% sure of is you're not just going to say, well, since I bought it for 500K, I should just sell it for 900K. That seems right. You wouldn't do that. Instead, what you would do is you'd hire an appraiser. This person would come in, check the conditions of your home, check the location of your home, check the upgrades that you've made, the improvements that you've made, look at the schools around your home, look at what other homes around your home in your neighborhood have been selling for. And with all these different factors, they would come in and they come back to you and say, hey, based on everything we just calculated, your home is now worth $1.5 million. Now you know how to take your home to market. You know what to ask for, what's fair market value for that home. Plus, you know how to market that home too. It's the same thing. Everyone will always hire an appraiser when they go from one home to the next. But most people, the people who've stayed stuck, they never do an appraisal before they go, when they're trying to go from one job to the next. But that's what we're going to do first. We're going to take a look at your current situation. We're going to look at what have you done? What have you achieved? How have you done it? Where have you thrived? Why have you thrived there? What are the right cultures for you? What are not the right cultures for you? What's the right role for you? Next, what's the best title for that role? What's the best level for that role? What's your skill set worth in the open market today? Because I promise you this, with the way the market has shifted, with inflation, etc., even if you didn't gain any new skills, let's say you've been a director of product for the last 5 years, even if you didn't gain any new skills or experiences or responsibilities, which I highly doubt, by the way, just by inflation alone, your salary is no longer worth today what it was 5 years ago. In fact, it's probably way more than that. So we wanted, before we ever put together a resume, before we ever network, anything like that, we want to do an audit and get clear on what is best for you today based on where you want to go over the course of the next 3 to 5 years. And if that's something you've struggled with to gain clarity on, like what is the right next, the best direction for you, because you may have done a lot of different things, you may enjoy a lot of different things, you may have had exposure to a lot of different things, the career audit is where this will all get solved for you. And it's so simple when you think about it. Like, why would we ever get into our car and just start driving without first having a direction of where we want to go, putting that direction in a map, and then calculating the best route to get us there? Now your journey to that destination no longer feels frustrating because you know you're on the fastest path there, and you know it's a path that you actually want to go down. It's a destination you want to drive towards. That is what the audit will do for you. Now, once we've done the audit and we've gotten clear on where you want to take your career over the course of the next 3 to 5 years, we will have determined what is the right next best role for you to get to that destination in the next 3 to 5 years the fastest. And that is when we will help you write your resume and LinkedIn profile. And I want you to think about your resume and your LinkedIn profile a little bit differently. It is basically one big digital advertisement of your skills and experiences. And if you know or have studied advertising, you know that a really good ad is comprised of three things. Number one, knowing who your target audience is. Number two, knowing what their needs, problems, or pain points are. And then number three, clearly and concisely articulating how you can and have solved those problems. Now, if you think about everything we just did in the audit, we've gotten clear on that. We know where you're trying to go, who your target audience is. We've understood how you've already solved for those problems before, how you've worked on those things, what you've achieved, how you've done it, how you've benefited the company. And now we can clearly and concisely help you write a resume that showcases the breadth of your experience, the depth of your experience in a way that includes a really powerful narrative and a value proposition. And when you have a really strong LinkedIn profile, which by the way is way more important in today's job market than your resume, you start attracting the right people to you instead of job opportunities that were meant for you maybe 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. This is the best way and the fastest way to ensure that you don't take a step back in your career, and the fastest way to ensure you're actually moving forward, which is what most people, and if you're watching this video and you're a high performer yourself, which is what you probably want. So now we've done the audit, we've gotten clear on where we want to go, why we want to go there. We've gotten clear and identified what's the right next role for you. We've written your resume and LinkedIn profile to speak to that role so you start attracting the right job opportunities, meaning interviews to you. And then what we're going to do is this. Step 3 is called the proactive outreach approach. Since 2016, this is how 98% of our clients have landed their interviews, and they land them really fast. I say this is the game changer because it is. It's going to be the reason you land interviews almost on demand. If you want to know a fun fact, most of our clients, when they start working with us, they're interviewing between 7 to 9 different companies. So think about how little pressure they feel, because they know I'm interviewing with 7 different companies. Even if I don't land 3 or 4 or 5 of them, that's okay. I'm still interviewing or getting offers from 2 others that I targeted, that I actually want. The benefits of reaching out, what proactive outreach is we're going to teach you a system. We're going to show you scripts that are tailored to your background and the roles you're targeting. And we're going to help you send messages to hiring managers, executives, senior leaders, either cold or warm. And these people will be the ones that champion you all throughout the interview process. Think about it like this. If all you did was apply to a job and you started your interview process with a recruiter you've never met, and let's say that call actually goes well, you are trusting that this recruiter is going to quote unquote sell you correctly to the hiring manager and the team that you might be looking to work with or for. Now, if this is an inexperienced recruiter, then you are leaving this up to chance. You're hoping that he or she markets you correctly to them, convinces them to interview you. But instead, if you sent messages like the ones I'm going to show you, or the ones we're going to teach you, if you sent those to hiring managers, executives, senior leaders, or even people you know in those types of positions, and that led to a conversation, number one, that's a warm conversation. Now, if that conversation goes well, what do you think is going to happen? That senior leader is going to go directly to the hiring manager or to the team and say, hey, get this person in interview process right now. I really like them. I just talked to them about the VP of product role. They're championing you throughout the process. That team has no choice but to say, sure, yeah, we'll meet with him or her. Right? So it speeds up the interview process. It makes it a lot easier. And this is the fastest way to land high paying job offers. And make no mistake, the higher up you're trying to go, the less applying online actually works. And I know that you know this. Applying to jobs in today's job market converts at best at 2%. So you apply to 100 jobs and maybe you get 2 interviews. But if you're reaching out to people using the systems and scripts and processes that we teach you, you can bet on a 20 to 43% conversion rate. Think about how much that would make your job search process easier. So that is step 3. And if you think I'm making this up, let me just show you. The client that landed a $750K offer, she did it through outreach. She literally says it right here. I can't believe this final role was from a cold outreach and not from a prior contact. I'll say this to whoever you want me to say it to. And if you're thinking that she got lucky, it's not luck. It's a system. And remember, I mentioned systems bring predictable results, especially if it's a proven system. And these are just messages from our clients who wrote about who wrote testimonials after they got offers. I've specifically highlighted the word outreach. Each and every single one of them credited outreach to landing their offers, not applying to jobs. How did I get 8 different companies to interview with? Outreach to the hiring manager or recruiter on LinkedIn. And only 1 was from applying. 7 out of those 8 companies I did not even apply to before getting the interview. Outreach, 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 outreach. And here's a message. We had a client literally send an outreach message to the chief financial officer at Qdoba. Think about how busy this person was, and yet they responded directly to our client and even asked to set up a proper introduction call. That's how quickly this can work. We had another client send it to a person at talent acquisition at Uber. And if you look, that person got right back to him. And he's been doing that over and over again. And like I said, it happens quickly. 17 days from the first networking email to official offer. 46% increase from my previous job. All the things she wanted. It happens fast. And here's just a few more examples of what outreach has done for our client, Gina. She was able to get conversations with Pinterest, Squarespace, WillowTree, Twilio, Microsoft, Google, YouTube, Asana, Stitch Fix, etc. More here. Another client did the same outreach process, got calls with Samsung, Amazon, Zand, Google, etc. We had another client use the outreach process. This is a completely different one than the one I showed you before. He increased his comp by 100K, all from the messages he sent when we were doing outreach. 6 to 7 interview rounds, they made him an offer he couldn't refuse, etc. So let's recap before we go to what's next. The audit allows you to get clarity on where you want to go, why you want to go there, and how you're going to get there. So we've identified then through the audit what your right, best, next role is. Once we've done that, we can market your entire resume and LinkedIn profile around that role, which then attracts hiring managers and interviews into your world. But we're not going to rely just on that. We're going to use the outreach process that I just shared with you to get you in front of hiring managers, executives, recruiters, senior leaders through warm and cold connections and messages that we will help you craft. And all of these will be for people who work at the companies you're targeting, companies you admire, for the roles you want to work for, the roles we know you would crush if you were in those. And that is what leads to interviews. And then it comes down to implementing what's called a consultative-based interview process. This process allows you to position yourself as the solution to the pain points those interviewers are feeling, which is why the position is open in the first place, versus someone looking for some job. We want to make sure you come across as a specialist. And through the consultative-based interview framework that we will teach you ad nauseum, you will be able to come across as a solution to their pain points, therefore moving through interview rounds seamlessly and getting you to the offer. And once we get you to the offer, we're going to use the Chinese menu philosophy, which Katie and I have talked about. It's in our free resources everywhere. And this is where you make sure that you get paid what you are worth. And most importantly, you don't leave a single cent on the dollar or on the table. Because the last thing we want is for you to start a new job knowing you could have got more, knowing you're underpaid. And using the Chinese menu philosophy, you can expect to get offers like the ones I showed you and more like this. Used your framework of options to get this. You got a total increase after you negotiated of $155,000 using the Chinese menu philosophy, which is something we will obviously teach you as well. And here's just a few more clients who got those types of offers recently using the same process. So let's just do a full recap. Number one, clarity. Let's define your M&M store. Know what to target, why to target it, and how to get there. Once we've done that, we will know with pure clarity what's the best next role for you. Once we know that, we will help you write your resume and LinkedIn profile to market you for that role. Then we will start helping you get interviews using a proactive outreach process that all of our clients have used in the past to land interviews quickly. Then we will teach you the consultative-based interview framework to make sure that you feel like they're selling to you. And as a result of that, you will get offers. And then we'll make sure you know how to negotiate to get paid your worth. That is our system that we've used since 2016 to now help 800 plus clients land 200K to 500K plus job offers like the ones you just saw. So the next thing is that I want to show you is, well, how will we actually help you implement this? So this is through our one-on-one concierge program. And really quickly, what this is not a group coaching program. Many, many years ago, we used to do group. We found that the higher up you go, the more nuanced your job search is. And the last thing we want you to do is be in a virtual classroom where you get to meet with me or Katie or our team once or twice a week, get one question or two questions in, and then try to figure it out. This is a one-on-one program where we will make sure that we remove all of your guesswork because you will know what to do, why to do it, and how to do it well. Then we are going to roll up our sleeves and help do it with you, or in some cases, do aspects for you. Like we will literally write the resume, the LinkedIn profile for you. We're going to help you build your scripts. We're going to help you write some of your scripts. We're going to help you prep for every single interview you're going to go on. We're not going to have you waste countless hours applying. We're not going to have you write cover letters. In fact, none of our clients have ever written a cover letter. That's a real fun fact. And lastly, because it is one-on-one, me, Katie, and our team get to work with you daily. And so that way you never feel like you're alone, like on an island, which the job search process can feel like at times. And everything that we do is tailored around you and your specific career goals. This is why, because of the process of a one-on-one program, we can't take hundreds or 50 or even 25 people at a time. We only work with a handful of people at a time. And in any given week, we have anywhere between 0 to maybe a couple or a few spots open. And this is why. So what can you expect if you do work with us? Well, number one, we're going to be supporting you, like I said, every step of the way. It should feel like, and our goal is to make it feel like you have a career coach in your pocket, someone who's seasoned, someone who's been an executive themselves, someone who has experience working in tech and knows what you're about to go through. You'll have daily access to us as well. Me, Katie, my team. Again, this is not one of those programs where you hear from me here and then you maybe see me once. No, I'm going to be with you. Katie's going to be with you. Our team's going to be with you every step of the way. We will make sure you have clarity on what to go after. And this is so key for some people who've done a lot of different things sometimes, or they're not sure where they want to go, or they've been trying forever and they haven't been able to figure it out. So we'll get you clarity. We will write your resume profile for you. We will write your LinkedIn profile for you. because we don't want you even trying to figure that out. It's not the best use of your time. And then we will help write, and in some cases, just write the outreach messages for you. We're going to map out your outreach strategy and make sure you know what companies to identify, why to identify them, who to reach out to, how to find these executives, senior leaders, hiring managers. We will help map all of that out for you. Again, no guesswork. And then as you get these interviews, this is a client favorite of ours, we're going to prep you for every single interview that you go on. We're going to help you figure out what to say, why to say it, how to say it. Is it clear? Is it concise? Is it confident? Are you underselling yourself? Are you overselling yourself? We're going to make sure that you show up as the best version of yourself. And keep in mind, confidence comes from preparation. Make no doubt about that. But we don't believe at CareerSprout it's enough just to prep you for an interview. That would be the same as just practicing for a game, but not knowing and not watching the game itself to see how you actually performed. So what we do with our clients, something different that we actually do, is we have them, at least initially, record several different interviews, specifically one with the hiring manager, one with the recruiter, one with a stakeholder or a skip level, whatever it might be. We're going to have you record those interviews and send it to us. And we will sit there like geeks, eating popcorn, listening to your interview, or in some cases, watching it because you've recorded it, and making sure we understand how you showed up, what you said, how you said it. Did it resonate? What could we do better? And our clients love the preps so much, but this is the little part that changes everything for them. Because once we've heard a couple of their interviews or a few of their interviews, and we're able to pinpoint exactly what they could do better and how to do it, now each interview prep becomes so much more effective. And again, you go from one interview to the next moving forward rather than wondering why you didn't move forward, wondering why they declined you. This is what we mean by removing the guesswork. And then as these interviews turn into offers, we will help you negotiate that offer. I mean, heck, we will literally write your counter offer for you. I will get on the call and coach you on who to say it to, how to say it, make sure you're doing it correctly. So that way you don't leave a single penny on the table and you get paid what you're worth. And throughout the process of the job search, we know there's several ups and downs. We know you could be prepping so much and not get a job. That's going to happen. And so anytime you feel like you got your butt kicked, we will be here to lift you back up. Again, you're not doing this alone. You're doing this with a team of people who want to see you win, not just in the short term, but the long term. So whatever mindset support you need, whatever emotional support you need, whenever you feel like you need somebody to just pick you right back up, dust you off, we got your back. And that's the power of working in a one-on-one concierge program with coaches who are with you throughout the whole thing, every step of the way, and being able to have access to us daily. And if you're wondering who this is for, just to recap, we work with principals to C-suite professionals who either have experience working in tech or want to work in tech. And tech can mean a lot of things. We typically refer to any vertical within tech. That could be health tech, big tech, data, ed tech, etc. Secondly, if you at least made 150K to 350K in your last role, or that's what you're currently making, this is going to really level you up. And specifically for our program, we only work with people who either have a green card or a US citizenship. When it comes to something that requires a sponsorship, we are not good at that. So if that is you, please do not book this call. Let us know. We can try to find a resource for you that might be way better. And again, anyone who has 5 to 7 years of experience, either as a consultant or in product management, program management, project, engineering, full stack backend, machine learning solutions, QA, strategy and operations, or typical operations, data and analytics, or again, any SVP to C-suite professional. That is who we support. That is what we're good at. I don't want to try to let you think that we can help anybody because we can't. And ideally from you, we're looking for people who are coachable, people who are tired of dwelling on the past and way more excited about where they actually can go and want to go. And for most people, they just don't want to figure it out. All of this stuff, this information we just went through, can you figure it out? 100%. But if you'd rather not try to spend time or potentially waste time trying to figure it out, and you understand that you're not the professional job seeker here, we are. You're probably really good at what you do. We're just really good at this. So if you want to work with somebody who's really good at understanding the nuances of securing a 200K to 500K job offer in tech, so that way you don't have to figure it out and we can just tell you what to do, how to do it, why to do it, then this is for you. And we love working with people who are happy, humble, and hungry, and know that they've earned that right to level up. So if that resonates with you, then go ahead and book the call. Or if you've already booked the call, then continue with it if all of this resonates. And again, because we only have limited spots, please do this if you're serious. If at this moment you feel like, hey, I could do this on my own, or you want to figure it out on your own or try it on your own, you're more than welcome to continue to utilize all of our free resources that's all over our website that we post on LinkedIn all the time. By all means, go ahead and do that. But if this resonates with you and this is something that you want to do in the near term and try to get a 200K to 500K job offer in the next 78.6 days, book a call or continue to move forward with the call that you already booked. And I will certainly see you on the other side. So thank you so much. And having said all of that, if you did book a call or you are going to book a call, I will see you on the other side. And thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Bye.